Hello, hello. It is day 148 of my 365-day raw suspending disbelief journey. It is September 17th, 2024, and this is my first day back after my sort of mini sabbatical that I gave myself. And honestly, I found it at certain points in the day, it was really difficult not to fall right back into overdoing it. Um, And I think that it's just because I'm at the point in my cycle where I have the spare energy and I have the motivation and I have the clarity and all of these things. So I just didn't want to stop. Um, but I will say that, 5 days ago, having basically a full on mental breakdown, um, or just about, right? Like I was on the verge, and getting so angry, and that fallout being directed at my kids, my dog, my like anyone in my vicinity. I was just angry in general, angry at myself, angry at the world, right? So it's too fresh for me to not remember. And it really put into perspective how even when I'm leaning into my cycles, I'm letting myself slow down when I'm at certain points in my cycle, and I'm letting myself go, whatever they call balls to the wall, right? I let myself just go hard when I have all the energy. But here's the thing. Letting that loose, like letting myself just go nonstop when I have the energy to, is what has taken me into that over masculine energy, the overdrive, the force, the nonstop, right? So that is, it's me letting it go too far, and then not realizing when it's time to rein it back in until it's too late. So I'm thinking that the solution is to not necessarily let myself hit my max on the days where my energy is higher and where I do have the focus and the clarity and all of that. This is what I'm going to experiment with anyways. I am going to bed here right away. I'm recording this before I go to bed. I am so full of energy at this moment that I don't know how I'll fall asleep. But trusting here, right? Trusting that I'm doing this as to the best of my ability, with the best knowledge that I have available to me at this time, all of that. So I know that in August, when I requested to have this sort of the insane level of energy that I had, when I asked my guides to support me with that, I didn't feel the tiredness until I laid down, and then I was instantly out every single night, and I could just go for so long, and that lasted for like a solid 37 days, I think was what it ended up being. It was much longer than one cycle, right? Um, it was really, really unbelievable, and I just didn't have any dips. And that many days in a row of having that high of energy just caused this habit, I think, of just being so insanely on at all times. And now I'm having to re-break that habit. And 4 days off was great. But I did end up, on the one day I planned so hard and so deep for so many hours, I might as well have worked all day. And the last day, I did work, right? I didn't work outwardly with clients, but I did do a lot of back end work, stuff that I could not need to do again, kind of thing. And that will save me time in the future. So again, not regretting that, but um, again, allowing myself to follow my energy, which I do believe is a really good thing. I guess what I'm struggling with is finding the balance, finding the stopping point before I go too far. And so today, for example, I spent time playing with my daughter. I walked to get my son from school at the end of the day with my youngest, and we walked back, and we stopped at the park on the way, and I let the kids run around and play in the playground while I laid in the grass and did a hypnosis meditation, and just sort of allowed myself to get a lot done when I was working, but also to stop and slow down, like at regular intervals throughout the day. And even like towards the end of the night, I put the kids to bed. They were in bed on time, and I was like, hey, I'm going to watch one episode of a show so I don't go overboard, right? And turn that off, and then I'll read before bed. And while I was watching the episode, I was fiddling with a few things on my website, and I did turn the TV off after one episode, but I didn't turn the computer off right away. And now I'm going to bed a little bit later than I had planned. I do plan to read to hopefully wind down and get off the screens, right? Which I need to get back into making that a habit for a couple of hours before bed, because I get such better rest that way. But I guess right now, the energy that I'm in at this moment, I just feel like, am I really going to be able to calm down enough, even with like 20, 30 minutes of reading, to be able to fall asleep? Because my energy is so buzzy right now. And I mean, I stopped drinking coffee early enough. I did all of the things that I'm supposed to do in that sense. It is an eclipse full moon right now. It's extra bright. It's, all the things. Last night, falling asleep, I was listening to the coyotes howl at the moon, which was really cool. But anyways, I'm like actually feeling super high energy right now, and I'm not sure how to tell when it's time to stop, I guess. I'm not sure. I know that there are times where I can stay awake until 1 or 2 in the morning working and get up at 5 or 6 and not be exhausted the next day, because that's just how high my energy is on those days. And I also know that I can't do that consistently, that I need to treat myself better than that. I need to get more rest than that, and all of these things. But despite getting a lot done on my to-do list today and serving clients and doing all of the things that I wanted to do, just about, and still taking the time to slow down and really connect and be present and all of those things, I just didn't burn enough energy today. And or at least that's what it feels like in this moment. It feels like almost like my heart is beating extra fast, like I just have a lot of energy. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure quite what to make of it. I'm not sure if sort of forcing myself to stop and slow down is going to be the key. It's 11:11. I just noticed. So maybe yes, maybe that's the new beginning I need. I guess I'm at a point of like, I'm not really sure what's best here. I know that I need to maintain better balance in my life between that feminine flow and the masculine structure. I've gotten a lot better with it, but I need to not be doing the pendulum swing so much and find that balance so that I'm not having any breakdown points. And I know that they don't happen super often for me, but they shouldn't need to happen, I guess, at all. And it's just going to be a matter of me figuring out how to work with that. I do know that it's possible. I know that I can figure this out, and I'm not there yet. So this is what I'm attempting right now. I'm just making myself stop, even though I feel like I could go for another 3 hours without a yawn. and we'll see how it goes, kind of thing. So trusting that the clarity that I got from this last 5 days about balance is going to be enough to carry me through while I figure out how to maintain that balance in a way where I'm not wildly swinging on that pendulum. And I do know that balance isn't perfect, that it's a, it's a consistent thing that we do rather than a state of being. And I am, I've been saying that. I've been saying that for years. That's not something that's new to me. But let this be a testament to just how difficult it is to find that balance, to find that method of maintaining it. So hopefully as I learn this, as I figure this out, I'm able to help others to skip some of the slow process of doing that. And I am just trusting that this is my best route right now. And I will say, like, I really have anchored into, it was really interesting. And this is a little bit of a different topic, but it was really interesting. This morning I had a call with a lady who is in the mastermind that I'm in, and she does what she calls color readings, and they are like, you pick your colors out and she reads your energy based on the colors that are calling to you that day. And it was really amazing confirmation of just how well I achieved my task of of coming back to myself, coming back to calm, finding my balance over this last 4 days. She was just like, all the colors that you picked are just so, like, the way that they all worked together. Specifically, we're just like, your energy's really clear, your confidence is through the roof, you are focused, or like, the direction was to focus, was to pick my focus and all of that. And it was just like, yeah, I mean, I spent a whole day figuring out, getting all my clarity, and then I spent a whole day just being present with my kids. I spent a whole day just not requiring anything of myself. And I spent a whole day on knocking off some one-off tasks that just have been weighing on my mind as the endless to-do list, right? So it was a really good balance of energies that I chose for those 4 days. And it came to the point of me coming into the rest of this week, in a really balanced, really sort of calm, even, everything status quo type of energy. And she confirmed that. And then I was able to, throughout the day, like I said, I was able to maintain that balance. I was able to stop and take those breaks and be present with my kids, present with myself, meditate, get really tuned into, like, I am the six-figure CEO, and that I don't, I'm not gonna, I'm not choosing to be the six-figure CEO that has to work her ass off to get there. I'm choosing to be the six-figure CEO that allows that to come into her life. And to do that, I'm really having to learn a new level of trust and a new level of balance. And that's really what all of this comes down to, is like, I have been at the point financially where, had I maintained it for a full year, I would have been the six-figure CEO. And I'm working my way back up there. And energetically, I know that I'm there. Energetically, I know that I'm at that status, and I am now just making the dollars match my energy, or not making, but allowing the dollars to match my energy. And that's just a really next level thing to do, I guess, right? It's something that, instead of the ultimate strategy and I mean, I do have the super detailed plan, but it's not about the dollar values so much as it is about achieving these massively huge, big goals that I have. And I just got really, really centered in that knowing of like, I'm allowing myself to be a six-figure CEO. I'm not forcing myself to be a six-figure CEO. I'm already there. My success is here. And right now I'm waiting for a full 12 months of enough success to prove that fact, right? A consecutive 12-month period that will show that I am a six-figure earner. And that is the number of up levels that have had to happen in order for me to say that calmly, feel it, believe it, all of that. It has not been a quick thing. It has not been an easy thing. It has been hard as fuck, actually. And it has meant transformation after transformation after transformation and a lot of hard times and a lot of dark night of the soul energy where the alignment is happening and things are falling away and it feels like Murphy's Law is ruling the day, and still trusting and maintaining that trust, not perfectly, but consistently over such a long period of time that now I have finally gotten my energy to where it lives at that level and I am consistently sort of swirling in those energies. And now that is when the manifestations start to appear, right? The physical proof of your manifestations shows up in the 3D world. So it has started happening. It is becoming my new norm, and I'm trusting it more and more every day. And the reading that I got this morning was absolutely on point. My confidence is through the roof as far as my own worth goes, as far as my authority goes in my expertise, what I do in my business, in my messaging, in my offers, and all of the separate pieces of what I do. My confidence and my authority level it has truly skyrocketed. And even when I have a bad day, even on that, just about full on burnout, just about full on mental breakdown day, where I got super angry, I still believed that about myself. And I still felt that I was that person. And that didn't change. And so that is the um, vibration versus frequency thing again, which I talked about. Oh my gosh, you don't even know. It feels like forever ago now. It was closer to the beginning of this podcast, where I had come across the definition and the difference between the two, where your frequency is where you are consistently at, like where the level that your soul has achieved is your frequency, and your vibration varies from day to day. So that can go up and down without raising and lowering your frequency. Your frequency is much more not permanent, but more stationary. And it takes a lot more to move the bar on that one. And I know that I have raised my bar exponentially as far as my frequency goes. So my vibration that day may have been really low, but my frequency was still set. And one day of having a low vibration, having a shitty day, does not affect your more permanent frequency. So there's my rambling episode of the night. Today has been really interesting, right? I'm still in great energy. Everything feels great. I'm balanced, all of that stuff. And I'm just not tired and I don't want to go to bed and I want to work, but I'm not letting myself. I'm going to try and go to sleep and see how that goes. I'll try to remember to report on it tomorrow. And for all of you who are listening, sort of up to date, happy full moon, partial eclipse energy. It is interesting energy right now. I will say that. I have several people close to me who who are reaching out around this time with just massive upheaval in their lives. And that is what happens with eclipses. And I am personally participating in this, in an eclipse portal energy thing with two of my business besties, Kelly Femrate and Heather Carroll, and they're running that, and it is just to sort of carry our energies through this portal of eclipses, because it is the energy is a bit much, but I feel stable. So it's good, and I'm grateful to have programs like that that I can jump in on and have my energy supported. So enough rambling, but that today was just very interesting in that way. It was a new level of clarity of seeing really from an outside perspective while living on the inside of it. So I'm looking forward to exploring all of this more and getting to know myself that much better. And there's, always new levels and always more to learn. And this is just my focus right now to learn to maintain a more even keel as far as the balance between masculine and feminine energies goes. And it's an exciting thought to me. It's as much as it's been such a drastic swing more over the last few years, I feel that swing becoming less and less wide. I feel it coming into that centered space, and I don't expect that I'll ever be perfect at it, but I do feel it improving. And that's a really, really exciting thought to me, because without the extreme swings, there are much less of long-term upheavals that really, really throw off your whole life. So as much as I do have many, and they seem fast-paced, like consistently one after the other after the other, many things that come up, I do feel like I also move through those things very quickly, and I'm not stuck in them for a really long time, which is incredible. And I could probably talk about that for days. So that's what I have for you guys today. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Keep on suspending disbelief.